Hello, and welcome to our Salamanders in the City project. The Nanaimo Area Land Trust have developed a backyard community science salamander monitoring project to increase our understanding of where salamanders occur within our urban environment. We know almost nothing about salamander distribution and what habitats they are using, important information that is needed if we want to manage for and protect them. Not many people know that we have 6 salamander species on Vancouver Island, largely because salamanders are not easily observed like other wildlife, such as insects, birds, or small mammals. This is partly because salamanders are active at night, a behavioral adaptation to stay cool and moist and to avoid getting eaten by one of their many predators. During the day, salamanders hide under and within various types of cover, such as logs, rocks, underground, within rotten stumps, in woodpiles, and under sheds, porches, and decks. We use this understanding of their daytime hiding behavior as a way of surveying for them. We create artificial cover that salamanders can use during the day. Cover boards consist of one large piece of wood with 2 smaller pieces of wood stacked on top. 2 layers of boards are used because some species prefer to be under the wood on the ground, while others prefer to be between pieces of wood. Thin pieces of lath are attached to the bottom board to create a small gap for the salamanders to access the space between the 2 layers of wood. The cover boards need to be made from native, untreated western hemlock or Douglas fir wood. Cedar is not used because it contains natural pesticides that salamanders don't like. Like all amphibians, salamanders are very sensitive to any chemicals in the environment. Cover boards should be placed within or close to vegetative cover, ideally within a forest or tree patch. But in an urban yard, being in or close to a garden where there is shrub cover would also work. The cover boards need to be placed on bare ground. Scrape any cover, such as leaves, moss, and grass away in order to reach the soil and ensure that the bottom board is placed flat on the ground. This helps ensure that the soil under the boards retains moisture, which is important for salamanders who are vulnerable to drying out. The boards are checked once per month in spring and fall, when salamanders are active at the surface. This means March, April, and May, and September, October, and November. When checking the boards for salamanders, lift the boards straight up to avoid crushing a salamander or injuring a limb. Remove the top boards first, then the bottom board. If you find a salamander under your cover boards, record the data on your datasheet. The data includes your name and address, the survey date, species, number observed, and the approximate body length of each salamander, which is measured from the tip of the snout to the back legs where they meet the body. Check the cover boards with another person to make it easier to manage the salamanders and the boards, and bring a small container to temporarily retain any salamanders you find. Carefully encourage the salamander to move into the container and then replace the cover boards. Never put the cover boards back in place on top of a salamander, as you could easily crush or injure it. Release the salamander right beside the cover board to encourage it to crawl back underneath and avoid being exposed to predators. Remember that zero data is still very important data. Every time you check the boards, even if you do not detect any salamanders, enter your data into the database or datasheet. You can submit it to NALT by taking a photo or scan of your datasheet and emailing it. Thank you for your interest in our Salamanders in the City project and for volunteering to be a community scientist. The Salamanders thank you.